Now we are going to work on the example of TensorFlow. So till now we have discussed about the basics of the neural network, artificial neural network, and we have seen some of the techniques which are available, as well as we have done till now some basics of the TensorFlow. Now we are going to implement our first classification technique using TensorFlow. So let's start with importing some of the important libraries which we will require here. So let's first of all import TensorFlow as TF, and let's also do some settings so that it allows the memory growth on the GPU. So in some cases, if you are using GPU on your system, then you might get some error if you do not use these things. So let's say physical devices is equal to tf dot config dot experimental and dot list physical devices. So let's do one thing first so that we can easily do autocomplete. Let's import the TensorFlow, and now we can list physical devices, and here we need to select the GPU. So this is a general command. If you do not use it, then you might get some errors in your system, and if you're working on Colab, please do not use it, otherwise it will give you error as you do not have direct access to the GPUs on Google Colab. So, and later on we will also discuss about what is complete significance of this particular command, but currently if you are working on the systems where you want to use the GPUs, so kindly make sure that you are writing this command, because sometime when it is running your code, in between it might give you some problem, so like memory issues and all. So these issues could be resolved if you set this particular command here. So now we are first of all finding out all the GPUs we have onto our system, and that is being taken in this particular variable. And now here I am saying that the first I want to allow the memory growth for the first GPU. So here I set this command. Now we can import also numpy as np, and let's see also the TensorFlow version we have here. So it's not doing the autocomplete here. Okay, great. So there is some issues. Great. So now we can see this is TensorFlow 2 version, right? So we are going to work with the TensorFlow. Little bit changes have been made from TensorFlow 1 to TensorFlow 2, and TensorFlow 2 is more easier to working with, and it comes with more features as well. So we are going to work with the TensorFlow 2. So you guys also ensure that if you are that you have installed the latest version of the TensorFlow. So now let's take the dataset with which we are going to work. So it is a fashion dataset in which we have the cloths images, right? So this dataset we can access through our module Keras, within which we have datasets, and then we have fashion MNIST, and now we are able to get this dataset. So let's load this dataset here. So let's write train images, train labels. This would be our training set. So as we have discussed already in starting, that it's always good that we divide our data set into training and testing set. So by default, this fashion MNIST data set comes with this segregation of training and testing images. So let's take this thing, and here we can load this data set by calling the function load data. So now this data set has been loaded. Now we can also look exactly what are the shapes we have. So basically how many total images do we have in the training set is around 60,000 images we have in the training set, and each of these image has the size of 28 cross 28. So its length and width is 28 pixel by 28 pixels. So these are pretty small images. Similarly, we can look their labels. So they should have exactly the same number of images labeled. So like here we have 60,000 images. So we have here for all those images one label, right? So let's see what kind of value do we have in train images. So let's take the first image. So here we see this is a first image value. So here you guys can see the value is 0, 13, 136. So this is actually changing from 0 to 255, right? Similarly, same thing with the test images. And we can now look into what do we have in the labels, right? So let's see what is the label of this first image. The label is 9. So they have the numbers for these images. So they have given 0, 1, 2, 3. So we know the name. So let's create a particular list, which is the list of the names of these numbers, right? So basically, if it is at 0th index, then it is a t-shirt. And if it is at the first index, then it is trouser. And if it is at second index, then the image is of pullover. And if its label is 3, the image is dress. And if its label is 4, then the image is coat. And with the label 5, the image is sandal. And with label 6, image is shirt. And with label 8, it is with label 7, it is sneaker. And with label 8, it is bag. And with label 9, it is ankle boot. So you guys can see this basically first image, these values, these are the pixel values, is having label 9. It means actually it is a ankle boot. So here we have written these name. Now let's see once about the test images as well. So let's see how many test images do we have on which we are going to evaluate our classification model, which we will build using the training images. So in the testing set, we have around 10,000 images. So now let's see one particular image. So for that, let's import matplotlib.pyplot as plt, and we are going to make the show the first image. So let's train images 0. So this is our first image, right? That is 0. The image which is at the 0th position, whose label was 9, and at the 9th place it is ankle boot. You guys can see this is an image of ankle boot only. So here even we can set the color bar as well, so how the pixel value are changing actually. So this is in reality a black and white, but by default matplotlib show it in a colored way, so that is why we are seeing this color. We can set the color bar as well, so that we can know exactly what color is showing what value, right? So the pixel value is 0 if it is like this dark blue, right? So this is around all these surrounding values, these are pixel value 0. And this highly yellow is more of 255 value, right? And in between these are different color, and using this color bar you guys can see how these values are changing. So now there is a one more thing which we have discussed also during the theory part, that it is important the values whichever you are passing as a input values to your neural network, it is always good if it is in between of 0 to 1, right? Its range should be 0 to 1, but currently its range is from 0 to 255, right? So we need to normalize these images. So we can normalize these images by writing train images is equal to train images divide by 255.0. Similarly, we need to normalize test images as well. So let's normalize them. And now our data set is ready. Now let's draw some around 100 images and then see that what these are images are, as well as we will print their names, right? So let's see the data set in little bit more detailed way. So let's create a fixed size of around 15 cross 15, and after creating this, let's run a loop which will draw all the images. So we are going to draw 100 images. So run the loop from I0 to 99. So we get the 100 images, and plt dot subplot. We are going to plot. So because it is 100 images, we will take 10 by 10 grid so that we can have the 100 images in each of these cell, and the number of images start with the 1. So but this loop is starting with 0, so we need to add one value to the I. And now let's remove all the ticks we will have. So we do not want any these X ticks and Y ticks, right? So we can remove them. PLT X ticks, nothing we are passing to it. Similarly, PLT Y ticks, and again nothing we are passing to it. After this, we can show the image plt.imshow, and now we can give the image, and the image is the ith image we have. And as well as we, because these are black and white images, so we are going to draw them in the black and white form only. So for that, we are going to set the cmap is equal to plt.cm.binary. And after this, we can give the names to these images. So we can do this plt.x label, and within this label we have their name in the class names variable, and their real label is given in the train labels, right? Ith train labels we are accessing. And let's finish the loop and show this image, and let's draw this. So here you guys can see we are able to draw all the 100 images from our data set. So this is the first one is of ankle boot, next one is of t-shirt, this is also t-shirt, this is dress, this is again t-shirt. So definitely image quality is not good because it's of size just 28 cross 28, right? So but still we can recognize lots of these things, right? Few of these things even are difficult for us. So like this is a dress, it's pretty difficult for me to recognize, right? Similarly, this is a t-shirt, but still lots of things we can recognize pretty easily. So this is these the sizes of these images is pretty small. Okay, so let's see, let's make the build the model and see how good result we can generate using this model. So the model which we are going to build here, we will be having only one layer. So let's create the model by writing keras dot, because it's a sequential model. So keras dot sequential, and we are going to create our first layer is a flatten layer. So this image is 28 cross 28. Basically, it's a 2 dimension. So we are going to pass as a one dimension. We are going to take all of them, right? So rather than 28 cross 28, we will take all of these as a feature. So we need to tell it, we need to flatten this. First of all, we need to flatten this data set, right? Rather than it into be 28 cross 28, it would be uh, exactly in like all the features would be straightforward, right? So for that, we need to use the flatten layer. So like layers dot flatten, and here we can tell that what is our input shape of these images. So input shape for this is basically the image size is 28 cross 28. And this is our input layer, we can say. And then we are going to make only one dense layer in between, that is tf.keras layer. So this would be dense layer only. And within this, we are going to say that we are going to have the 128 neurons and the activation as we discussed already. So we are going to have the ReLU activation here. And one second, here I have put it. It should be the complete list here. Okay, so this is our second layer. Now we need to tell about the third layer, tf.keras. That is our output layer, right? So we will make it, because we have the 10 classes of cloths. So we are going to have the 10 neurons in the outer layer so that it gives some value for each of the class. So now our model is ready. Just here, some spelling mistake we have made. Okay, now our model is ready. Now we are going to compile this model, right? And model dot compile, here we write this command to compile the model. And in this, we need to tell which method we are going to use to optimize, to do the optimization or to reduce the loss, right? So to reduce the loss. So here we are going to use the Adam technique to do the optimization or to minimize the loss. And how do, which particular loss function which we are going to use. So as a rule of thumb, you, whenever you are working with multiple classes, that is classes more than two, it is always good that if you use the sparse categorical cross entropy loss. Okay, and here we set from logits is equal to true. Okay, as well as, is there any other metrics we want to keep our eyes on? Yes, we want to look also the accuracy, how much accurately we are able to predict them. So here we set the properties. Now we are ready to start training of our model which we have created. So for doing the training, we write model.fit, and here we pass it our train images. We give it them what is the labels for these images, as well as we tell how many iteration it should do. So we are saying to do around 20 iterations. So now it start executing this command. It is training. So after doing the first iteration, it was able to get the accuracy of 82%, right? And in the second iteration, it reaches 86%, in third 87%, right? So we can see how the accuracy is increasing. So in meanwhile, it is being executed. Let's write some command for doing the evaluation of our model as well. So model dot evaluate, we are going to evaluate it on the testing images. So for that, we need to pass the test images as well as the test labels. And we will set the verbose here too. So here we write test loss and test accuracy. So here we can see on the training set, it was able to reach to the 93% accuracy, right? In 20 epochs, it was able to reach to 93% accuracy. Now let's see on the testing data set, how much accuracy we are able to achieve. So on the testing data set, we are able to achieve around 88.2 percent accuracy. So it's a pretty good accuracy we are getting here. It's not much difference, just of 5%. So we can say it's not much of, there is not much overfitting into our data set, into our training the model. So here you guys can see we just made a simple model, right? Even we didn't use the some of the images layer. We have the particular layers which are good to be used with the images. For example, CNN, right? That is convolution neural network. We have not used yet, but still we are able to achieve 88% accuracy, that too on the test images. Okay, so now if we want to do the prediction, so or if we are looking to know the exactly the probability of belonging to a particular class, right? We might be interested. Let's say there is a particular image. So let's say this is a particular image which is of dress. I want to know that when my model predict, it might predict it as ankle boot, maybe dress, pullover, or whatever. But when it predicts, I want to know that exactly what is the probability of that particular image to belonging to a particular class, maybe to ankle boot, to dress, or pullover, right? Definitely the one which will give us highest probability, we will choose that. So we are going to just add one more layer to our model so that we can get the in form of probabilities exactly, right? So tf dot keras, so again within the, we say within sequential model, so model which we have already built, we will take it and then we will add one more layer to it, and that is of soft max layer. Soft max layer. Okay, here this is comma, it should be dot. Okay, now we have built that model, right? We have made our this model ready. Now if I use this model, right, so I will make the predictions using this model, so it will give us the probability. So we will use probability model, we will pass to it test images, and we will see what result it is giving. So let's see what result it is giving for the first image. So let's say test images, we are going to take the 0th image, right? So for that, these are the pixel values, right? We can even do plt dot imshow, and let's see, this is the image, right? So it seems like ankle boot image, right? And let's see what prediction, what is the probability our model is giving for each of these class. So prediction at the 0th position for 0th image is this. So for the first class, so we can see also what are the class names, right? So class names, right? So here we can see for the first class, that is a t-shirt, it is giving 2.1 into 10 raised to the power minus 8 probability, right? Similarly, for the trouser, it is around 10 raised to the power minus 11. For pullover, 10 raised to the power minus 10. So very small probability is there. But for the last class, it is giving 9.9 into 10 raised to the power minus 1. So it is giving 0.99 probability for ankle boot. And we can see this is ankle boot only, right? Or we can see exactly which one is the maximum. We can take its index, right, by writing np.argmax, and we can pass that predictions 0. Here it is giving this is a ninth class, which is ankle boot, or we can select it also exactly print the name of that particular class names, and from this we want to choose the name which is at the highest probability. So ankle boot, it is predicting us that this particular image is of ankle boot. Similarly, we can look for the image which is at the first position. So let's see the image at the first position is this one, seems like t-shirt or pullover. So let's see what is the probabilities we are getting. This is the probability we are getting. And here if we see the maximum probability is this one, right? So this is 0.99 probability for the third class. Third class is pullover only. And let's print it. Sorry, here we need to write the one. And here we can see this is giving us that this is a pullover, right? So this way we can build our simple model, right? So I hope you guys were executing this code with me, and you guys have understood it properly. So let's go ahead and see few more things.